Hi everyone, if you love learning new things, today's video on a facts time is perfect for you. So let's get started. Episode 87.
Medieval scholars understood that Earth was round, debunking the flat Earth myth. Educated people, including astronomers and navigators, recognized Earth's curvature for centuries. This knowledge originated from ancient Greek thinkers like Pythagoras and Aristotle. The misconception of widespread belief in a flat Earth during the Middle Ages is a modern myth, perpetuated by misunderstanding historical education and navigation practices. The Great Wall of China is not uniquely visible from space, many man-made structures are visible too. From low Earth orbit, various landmarks like cities, highways, and airports are also discernible. The Great Wall is not the most prominent feature, as it blends with natural terrain and isn't easily distinguishable. This popular myth is debunked by astronauts' observations and modern imaging technology. In space, explosions as seen in movies don't occur. Explosions require oxygen, which is absent in space. Therefore, any real explosion would be silent and not visually dramatic. Without oxygen, flames cannot sustain themselves, and shock waves cannot propagate. What you might see are debris and flashes, but without the loud booms and fireballs typical in cinematic portrayals. NASA didn't invent the space pen. The Fisher Pen Company independently developed it, designing a pen that works in zero gravity. Both NASA and the Soviet space program adopted it for their astronauts. This pen can write in extreme temperatures and various conditions, unlike regular pens. The collaboration showcased private innovation in solving space challenges, debunking the myth that NASA solely developed this versatile writing tool. Planet 9, a hypothetical ninth planet, might exist beyond Neptune. Although not yet discovered, gravitational anomalies in the orbits of distant objects in the Kuiper belt suggest its presence. These irregularities hint at a massive, unseen planet influencing their trajectories. Astronomers continue to search for this elusive planet, using advanced telescopes and simulations to pinpoint its possible location in our solar system. Sound cannot travel in space because it's a vacuum, with no medium, like air or water, for sound waves to propagate. On Earth, sound waves travel through molecules vibrating and passing the sound along. In space, the absence of matter means no vibrations, so sound remains silent. Space is eerily quiet, unlike the dramatic noises often depicted in movies and shows. In space, even weak engines can achieve high speeds because there's no atmospheric resistance. Continuous low thrust builds up over time, allowing spacecraft to accelerate gradually. Without friction, the momentum increases, leading to incredible velocities. This principle enables long-duration space missions with minimal fuel, demonstrating the efficiency of low-thrust propulsion systems in the vacuum of space for sustained travel. In the vacuum of space, your body wouldn't explode. While the lack of pressure would cause you to bloat and gases would expand in your tissues, your skin and body's connective tissues are strong enough to keep everything intact. You'd experience swelling, and without a spacesuit, you'd soon lose consciousness due to lack of oxygen. But no explosion. Comet tails always face away from the sun due to heat and solar wind, not the comet's motion. As a comet approaches the sun, solar radiation heats it, releasing gas and dust. Solar wind pushes this material away, forming the tail. Regardless of the comet's path, its tail points away from the sun, influenced by solar forces rather than its direction of travel. Black holes are spherical, not funnel-shaped as often depicted. They are incredibly dense regions with immense gravity, causing space-time to curve around them. This curvature creates an event horizon, a boundary beyond which nothing can escape. The funnel shape is a visual representation of this curvature, but in reality, black holes are three-dimensional, spherical objects with gravity pulling equally in all directions. In space, your blood would not boil instantly due to the low pressure. Blood circulates within a closed system, which helps prevent immediate boiling. While exposed bodily fluids might vaporize in the vacuum, your circulatory system maintains pressure, protecting your blood. Proper protection, like spacesuits, is essential to prevent severe consequences, but immediate blood boiling is not one of them.
Before we move on to our next fact, tell us in a comment which fact that amazed you.
Contrary to popular belief, mobile phones rely primarily on undersea cables rather than satellites. Approximately 99% of international data transmission occurs via these cables, which span oceans to connect continents. Satellites play a minor role, mainly for remote areas or specific applications. The vast network of undersea cables ensures fast and reliable global communication, making satellite usage relatively rare for most mobile phone communication. The Moon has no permanent dark side. The dark side refers to the far side that we don't see from Earth due to tidal locking. Both sides receive sunlight during the Moon's orbit. The far side is simply out of view from our perspective. Thus, there isn't a permanently dark region. The entire lunar surface experiences day and night cycles. Faster-than-light travel might be possible, despite Einstein's theories. Quantum mechanics, particularly quantum entanglement, suggests particles can instantly affect each other over vast distances, hinting at exceptions to the light speed limit. This challenges traditional physics and opens possibilities for faster-than-light travel. While still theoretical, these quantum mechanics concepts offer intriguing potential for future exploration and could transform our understanding of space and time. Earth is not a perfect sphere. It slightly bulges at the equator due to its rotation. This bulge occurs because the centrifugal force from Earth's spin pushes outward at the equator, causing it to expand. As a result, Earth has an oblate spheroid shape, with a greater diameter at the equator than at the poles. This phenomenon affects global positioning and satellite calculations. The Sun isn't on fire, it generates energy through nuclear fusion. In its core, hydrogen atoms merge to form helium, releasing immense energy. This process differs from combustion, which requires oxygen and produces heat through chemical reactions. Fusion occurs at extreme temperatures and pressures, enabling the Sun to emit light and heat, sustaining life on Earth without burning like a fire. Astronaut jet packs, like NASA's Safer, are limited backup tools, not for Hollywood-style flying. They have minimal fuel and are used for emergency maneuvers if an astronaut drifts away from the spacecraft. These packs provide short bursts of controlled thrust to return the astronaut safely. Unlike the dramatic scenes in movies, jet packs are practical safety devices with precise, measured functionality in real space missions. Pluto was reclassified from a planet to a dwarf planet in 2006 by the International Astronomical Union. The discovery of the Kuiper Belt, a region with many similar-sized objects, led to this change. Pluto does not meet the criteria of clearing its orbit of other debris. As a result, it is now recognized as one of many small bodies in this distant region of the solar system. Space has no true temperature because it is nearly a vacuum with very few particles to hold heat. Temperature measures the kinetic energy of particles, and in the near emptiness of space, particle interactions are minimal. Consequently, space is nearly temperatureless. Objects in space can have temperatures, but space itself doesn't hold or transmit heat, leading to vast differences in temperature for objects within it. The Sun is actually white, but it appears yellow due to Earth's atmospheric scattering. As sunlight passes through the atmosphere, shorter blue wavelengths scatter, leaving the longer yellow and red wavelengths, creating the yellowish hue we observe. Above the atmosphere, the Sun's true color is white, as it emits all visible light wavelengths equally, forming a balanced white spectrum. Astronauts appear weightless because they are in a state of continuous freefall inside their spacecraft, which orbits Earth. This freefall creates the sensation of floating. However, gravity still exists, pulling them towards Earth, but the spacecraft's forward motion balances this pull, creating a microgravity environment. Thus, astronauts aren't weightless, they experience freefall, mimicking weightlessness. Contrary to popular portrayals, asteroid belts are mostly empty spaces. The majority of asteroids are spread out over vast distances, making collisions rare. While there are millions of asteroids, their separation spans millions of kilometers, creating a sparse, open environment. Movies often depict dense, cluttered asteroid fields for dramatic effect, but the reality is much more spacious and less chaotic. In space, you wouldn't freeze instantly due to slow heat transfer. Without a medium like air or water, heat cannot transfer rapidly. Instead, your body would lose heat through radiation, a slower process. Surprisingly, overheating is more likely due to trapped heat from bodily functions and lack of convection. Proper protection, like spacesuits, is essential to manage both heat and cold in space. Despite being closer to the Sun, Mercury is not the hottest planet. Venus holds that title. Venus's thick atmosphere, rich in carbon dioxide, traps heat through an intense greenhouse effect, raising surface temperatures to around 475 degrees Celsius (900 degrees Fahrenheit). This thick cloud layer prevents heat from escaping, making Venus hotter than Mercury, which lacks a substantial atmosphere and experiences more temperature fluctuations. The Earth and Sun don't orbit each other directly. Instead, they revolve around a common center of mass called a barycenter. This point lies within the Sun due to its massive size, but not exactly at its center. Both bodies' gravitational interactions create this shared center, around which they move, debunking the idea that Earth strictly orbits the Sun alone.
And that's it for today, guys. If you like this video, please give a like, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.